Well, I was very excited when I ordered this Broadway Limited GE ES44AC locomotive with Paragon 3 rolling thunder sound. Yes, this will be my only locomotive with sound. Until I received it, and now I've decided to quit model railroading forever. Goodbye. All right, April Fools, I'm just kidding. No way that's going to happen. Hello, model railroaders. Brian Page here. I have just received this Broadway Limited ES44AC, and I thought I would do a little kind of a review on it and compare it to, let me get this one here. I also have this Kato, uh, which is basically the same model. It is an ES44AC. Which one is, yeah, this is a Kato. This is the Broadway Limited. And I'm going to do a little side-by-side here and talk about some pros and cons. So let's get into that. Well, as you can see, I am now the proud papa of two GE ES44ACs. Now, this one in the front, I hope it's focused okay. I think we're focused more on this one back here. Anyway, this is the Kato version of the ES44AC. This is the Broadway Limited that I just got. That is also an ES44AC. There's a few differences. There's different antennas on the roof. The horn is a little bit higher on the Broadway Limited. I don't think we can see that very well, can we? Let me see if I can turn that around. Well, it's hard to see, but the horns are a little higher on the Broadway Limited. But, you know, the radiators back here are laid out just a little bit differently. You know, that's all just aesthetic stuff. One thing that I really did notice, though, is on the Kato, we have fairly detailed trucks down here and tanks, all the piping and things down here. Now on the Broadway Limited, though, they have actual real wires on the trucks for piping. Some of the actuator rods and brake lines, things like that. That is real wire down here. Overall, the steps here are not painted or anything like that on the Kato. The Broadway Limited has the safety striping on the stairway. It has, it lives up to the reputation of Broadway Limited. I mean, it is a little more detailed. All the little parts are just a little bit finer. You know, it's also, you might notice here, let's see if I can get this around the right way. Right there, kind of, sort of. You can see on the Broadway Limited that there is separately applied hand grabs on the hood up here. The Kato has molded on hand grabs. Also in the back, there is a difference here. For one thing, the lights are laid out a little bit different. The tail lights are vertical on this one and horizontal on this one. And there's horizontal, well, actually both of them have the horizontal grab irons back here. But these are, on the Broadway Limited, separately applied. So, yeah. Let me get that back in. So overall, I'm not going to get into too much details here, but overall I'd say that they're practically identical. However, the Broadway Limited is a little bit finer in the details. The Kato is probably a little beefier if I can use that term. I don't feel bad about picking it up, moving it around. I mean, the Kato feels like it'll take anything. The Broadway Limited just seems to be, it looks and feels a little more fragile. But the trade-off on that is that, you know, the details are much more realistic, I think. So next I am going to get into, oh, by the way, look at the paint down here on this tank. And I believe that that is the same on this side with the fuel tank. Yeah. So it's got some fancy red paint down here, not only on the tank level meter, but also up on these filler caps. Very nice. So next, anyway, I'm going to get into some pros and cons here. So I'm back to just the Broadway Limited here on the turntable. And there's, you know, it's a very, very good looking locomotive. No problem there. Where I have already run into problems is that there's going to have to be massive CV adjustments. The motor in this thing runs very jerky. Not only are the speed steps too high, but it just runs very jerky. It kind of almost, you know, lunges ahead, then hesitates. I'm hoping that I can smooth that out by adjusting some speed CVs. Another problem that I have already run into, Broadway Limited apparently, now if this is typical of Broadway Limited, this locomotive will absolutely show you any problems that you have with your track lane. And I hate to say that because judging by this locomotive, my tracks are a mess. I have, you know, several places on my layout where the track lane probably was not up to par. The Kato locomotive will go right around it. No problems whatsoever. It'll haul as many rolling stock cars as I want to put behind it, and it just sails right through. This Broadway Limited has problems with everything. I don't know if maybe these trucks are a little lighter, perhaps, or maybe it's the way that they're attached, but they will just come flying off the rails at any given moment. So I'm going through and I'm trying to, I'm using it as a track troubleshooter because it, you know, it tells me where all my problems are. Now, another problem that I ran into with this engine already is these couplers up here. Now, the nice thing is the Broadway Limiteds come with microtrains couplers already on it. But these couplers are so short and they don't move very far back and forth. So what I found out was with my rolling stock that have microtrains couplers, as soon as I hit a curve on my layout, all the rolling stock just lays over, comes off the rails and lays over because it can't turn the corner with this coupler. Now, for some reason, I think, let me grab this real quick, I believe that I have the exact same coupler on the Kato. But for some reason, it's able to move further back and forth, and I don't have that issue. It may be sticking out just a little bit further. So maybe it's the mounting point underneath that's causing the problem. But anyway, I was really excited about the Broadway Limited, but the fact of the matter is that the Kato, even though it's less detailed, it is a workhorse. I mean, the Kato will take anything you throw at it. And it runs smooth out of the box, just not a problem. It's a great locomotive. The Broadway Limited can be a great locomotive. I just have to get it dialed in, I guess. And it's a little bit disappointing to have to do that. So that's my little, quickie review and comparison between a Kato and a Broadway Limited ES44AC locomotive. I'm going to catch a bunch of flack, I know, for kind of bad-mouthing Broadway Limited, but the fact is, I'm going to say it again, the Kato just worked really well right out of the box. I ran it around the track a few times, broke it in, and ever since then it's been smooth as silk. The Broadway Limited has problems right out of the package, and like I say, maybe I can help that by adjusting some CVs. I sure hope so. Yeah, that's all right. You know what? Roast me in the comments. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to keep working with this engine and, see how it works out. So, everybody, I'll see you at the next stop. Well, when I ordered this Broadway Limited, I forgot what it is.